Okay, so you're here, which means, you're curious, right? You love to really understand things and, appreciate kind of getting to the heart of it all without all that extra stuff.
Right to the core of the matter.
Exactly, exactly. So today we're going to really dive deep into the story of Hazrat Idris. Uh, Azaras, of course, a super significant figure, I mean, truly significant within Islam.
Absolutely.
And we've got some really compelling material here. We're going to be looking at, his life and why he holds such a really important place.
Mhm.
And our mission's pretty simple: to unpack the most fascinating parts of his story, the most captivating aspects, and understand the reasons for, why he's so deeply revered.
Look, it's a powerful journey,
It is, yeah.
a life that bridges ancient history and spiritual insight. Gives us a chance to really reflect on those figures who have left, an enduring mark across different traditions.
Yeah, and speaking of different traditions, I mean, where should we even begin?
Well, let's start with the basics. Who is
Okay.
Hazrat Idris, AS?
Okay, so the sources we have clearly identify him as a highly esteemed prophet in Islam.
One of the most esteemed.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure. And he's mentioned in the Quran itself,
yes, in several places.
in Surah Maryam, which is chapter 19, and Surah Al-Anbiya, which is chapter 21.
Hmm.
And the descriptions used are really, I mean, they're really striking, truthful, exalted, like those are big words.
And they carry a lot of weight, especially in the context of the Quran.
For sure, yeah.
Oh.
And he's also understood to be, the second prophet after Adam, AS.
Right. Placing him right at the dawn of human prophecy.
Wow, think about that timeline.
It's incredibly important. That early placement as the second prophet after Adam, signifies his role as one of the initial guides for humanity. It's like
Mm.
as humanity began to, develop and organize.
Yeah, like the very beginnings.
And those chronic descriptions we talked about, truthful, Siddiq in Arabic and exalted, they're not just compliments.
Yeah, right. They're titles almost.
They signify the unwavering integrity of his connection to the divine and his exceptionally high spiritual standing.
And this is where I think it gets really interesting, especially when you start looking at the connections between different faiths. The material we have highlights this really significant scholarly link between Hazrat Idris, AS, and Enoch in the Bible.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're both seen as these incredibly wise and righteous figures.
Hmm.
And they both have this element of being taken up to the heavens in this kind of, I don't know, mysterious way.
There's a lot of mystery surrounding the ascension.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it really makes you think about, like shared spiritual roots.
It does. It suggests this powerful underlying narrative,
Mm,
a recognition of individuals who achieve this exceptional, spiritual purity, wisdom.
yeah, yeah.
So much so that their stories just echo across time and cultures. It hints at, these fundamental truths about righteousness that go beyond any specific faith.
Right, right. They transcend, like you said. Okay, so let's delve a bit into his origins. So the sources trace his lineage all the way back to Prophet Adam, AS.
Of course.
And he's identified as a forefather of Prophet Nuh, AS, which is, Noah, as he's known in other traditions.
Yeah.
We even get the full family tree.
It's quite extensive.
Idris bin Yared bin Malail bin Kenan bin Anush bin She's bin Adam, AS. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like looking at, the early branches of this really significant spiritual family.
Exactly. In many traditions, lineage carries a lot of weight.
Mm.
It establishes this continuity of values, of teachings.
Yeah.
And his position in this early lineage, connecting the first human, with a pivotal figure like Noah, underscores his role during this really formative period in human history. It's almost like he's a bridge between the original creation,
Mm-hmm.
and a new beginning after the flood.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so then there's the meaning of his name, Idris. And it comes from the Arabic root, darasa, which means, to study, to learn.
Which is so incredibly telling.
It is, right. It immediately gives you a sense of someone who is deeply committed to knowledge, to understanding.
It does.
Yeah.
Names, often carry profound significance. And the link between Idris AS and the very act of learning emphasizes, his engagement with seeking knowledge, comprehending it, and then sharing it. It suggests that this pursuit of understanding, it wasn't just, a hobby or a pastime. It was a core aspect of his being, of his prophetic mission.
Wow, that's a really great point. Okay, so let's go back to those Quranic mentions that we were talking about.
So let's
So in Surah Maryam, it says very clearly, "Indeed, he was a man of truth and a prophet, and we raised him to a high station."
Yeah.
And that last part, being raised to a high station, that's something we're definitely gonna come back to.
we will.
But even just being called a man of truth and a prophet directly in the Quran, like that's a powerful testament
Absolutely.
to his status, right?
It's an unequivocal affirmation of his prophetic legitimacy,
Yeah.
and the absolute integrity of his character. The Quran's descriptions, they're so precise,
Mm-hmm.
and they carry immense weight.
Yeah, they do. And then in Surah Al-Anbiya, he's mentioned alongside prophets Ishmael and Dulubifo.
Yes.
And all three are described as being among the patient and of the righteous. So it wasn't just, being truthful. It was about enduring those difficulties and consistently upholding what was right.
Right. His inclusion alongside, these other revered prophets highlights that the path of prophethood, it's not easy.
No.
It often involves significant challenges. Patience and righteousness.
Yeah.
In the face of adversity, those are crucial qualities for those who are guiding humanity towards the divine.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now let's dive into, his role as a prophet and the contributions that are attributed to him.
This is where it gets really fascinating.
This is where it gets really interesting. So Hazrat Idris, AS, really stands out here. He wasn't just calling people to, believe in one God, to embrace monotheism and reject idol worship, which was, huge at the time.
It was a radical idea
Yeah.
for many people.
He's also credited with introducing writing scripture. Some accounts even suggest he was the very first person to write with a pen. I mean, wow.
Think about that.
Think about how revolutionary that would have been for preserving and sharing ideas.
It's a foundational technology.
Right?
So much of our understanding of history, of faith, rests on that initial step.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, what would the world be like without that?
It would be a very different world.
Completely
That
different.
would have been a transformative moment in human history.
Yeah.
The development of writing allowed for the codification, the transmission of knowledge across generations
Mm-hmm.
in a way that oral tradition it couldn't achieve.
Yeah.
So to be credited with this innovation,
Yeah.
it signifies a profound contribution to civilization itself, to how we understand our past, our beliefs.
It's hard to even imagine the world before, the written word.
Right.
Wow. Okay, but his contributions, they don't stop there. He's also said to have taught mathematics, astronomy, and medicine. I mean, it's like
Wow.
he was a center of learning
He was a true polymath.
for his community, imparting, that foundational knowledge in all these diverse fields. I mean, you can really see why he would be held in such high esteem.
Absolutely.
It's fascinating, the breadth of knowledge that's attributed to him. It suggests this really holistic approach to understanding the world.
Right. It encompassed both the practical and the celestial.
Yeah. It speaks to our inherent human curiosity,
Yeah.
about how things work, both here on Earth and, in the vastness of the cosmos.
This range of knowledge suggests, a comprehensive understanding of the world around him.
Mhm.
It reflects a mind that sought to unravel those mysteries of both the physical and the abstract.
Right, right.
And it highlights, I think, the interconnectedness of different fields of knowledge and the importance of, well-rounded approach to learning.
Yeah, I love that, the interconnectedness. Okay, so then we have the more practical innovations that are attributed to him. So he's credited with developing methods for weaving and tailoring clothes, which, I mean, that's a big step,
It is.
right, from just using animal skins.
Yeah, a significant step forward.
It shows real ingenuity, and a focus on improving the quality of life for his people.
Right.
Imagine the improvement in comfort,
Oh, absolutely.
right? And maybe even a sense of dignity that simple innovation brought.
Mm-hmm.
Like better protection from the elements, more, refined attire. It highlights how even those seemingly small advancements can have such a big impact on daily life.
That's a crucial point. It demonstrates that his prophethood, it wasn't solely focused on spiritual guidance.
Yeah.
It encompassed this practical wisdom,
Mm-hmm.
tangible improvements for his community. And it reminds us that faith can inspire us to find those innovative solutions to everyday challenges and to strive for the betterment of society.
Yeah, like it's not just about, the hereafter. It's about here and now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so he also encouraged hard work and introduced the concept of skilled professions,
Hmm.
emphasizing, the value of labor and expertise.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like a really forward-thinking idea for that era.
It was.
And of course, he was also, guiding people away from sin and disobedience to Allah. So he was providing this really comprehensive framework for life.
Absolutely. He was laying the groundwork for a just and prosperous society,
Hmm.
addressing both the spiritual and the material needs of his people.
Yeah, like a holistic, like we were talking about before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now for one of the most talked about aspects of his story, the miraculous ascension to the heavens.
Right.
So the Quran states, and we raised him to a high station.
Mm.
And our sources, they outline different scholarly interpretations of what this means.
As you might expect.
Yeah. So some believe it was a physical ascension,
All right.
that he was taken, alive into the heavens, similar to Prophet
Yeah.
Isas.
Right.
And that interpretation really emphasizes, the exceptional nature of his status, the divine favor bestowed upon him.
To be raised bodily to the heavens, that would be an extraordinary event,
Yeah.
highlighting his unique relationship with the divine.
It's a powerful image. And then there's the view that it was more of a spiritual ascension,
Mm-hmm.
meaning he attained this incredibly high level of wisdom, closeness to Allah.
And even that interpretation, speaks to an extraordinary spiritual achievement. It's a testament to his unwavering devotion.
Yeah. His profound understanding.
And then we get this incredibly specific and frankly awe-inspiring detail. There's a reference to a hadith in Sahih Muslim,
Okay.
and it mentions that during the Isra and Miraj, Prophet Muhammad's peace be upon him, miraculous night journey and ascension, he actually met Hazrat Idris, A.S., in the fourth heaven. I mean, just wow.
It's an incredible encounter.
It is to imagine that meeting, across time in these celestial realms.
This hadith provides a really powerful and direct link between those early prophets and the final prophet of Islam.
Mm.
It really solidifies, that revered status of Hazrat Idris within the Islamic tradition.
Yeah, for sure. And the interaction described, with the angel Jibril identifying him and the exchange of greetings, it adds this really personal, vivid dimension to his story.
It does. It makes it all the more impactful. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, so as you're listening to this, what are the key takeaways? What can we learn from the life of Hazrat Idris, A.S.?
Well, the emphasis on seeking knowledge really stands out.
It does.
He was a scholar and a teacher. And, even in our information-saturated age, that drive for genuine understanding, something Hazrat Idris, A.S., really embodied, that remains so relevant.
It's timeless. His life serves as this timeless reminder of the intrinsic value of learning. Intellectual curiosity, the pursuit of knowledge as an integral part of a meaningful and spiritually enriching life.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's this enduring lesson of being patient and righteous.
Right.
He remained steadfast in his mission no matter what the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a quality I think, we can all strive for as we navigate our own lives, the difficulties we all face.
Indeed. His example encourages us to persevere in doing what's right,
Mm-hmm.
to remain committed to our principles even when we're confronted with adversity. Absolutely. And then the concept of trusting in Allah, right? That's central. His ascension, however we understand it, symbolizes the ultimate reward for unwavering faith, deep devotion.
And underscores the importance of placing our trust in the divine,
Right.
and the potential for divine grace to elevate those who are sincere in their faith.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, his contributions to areas like science, writing, practical skills, they highlight, the value of hard work and innovation. He wasn't just focused on the spiritual. He actively sought to improve the lives of his community in tangible ways.
Right.
And this reminds us that, our faith should inspire us to be productive, creative, to use our talents and abilities to benefit others,
That's a vital lesson. It shows us that faith and action, spiritual growth and practical contributions, they can and should go hand in hand.
Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive.
They're not.
Yeah, that's a really great point. Okay, so now a question that often comes up is Hazrat Idris, A.S., still alive?
Right.
And our sources indicate that there are differing opinions among scholars. So some believe he continues to reside in the heavens, much like Prophet Isa, AS, while others hold that only his soul was raised to a high station.
Right.
And the fact that there are, these different interpretations, I think it highlights like the limits of our knowledge,
It does.
when it comes to the unseen realms.
It encourages a sense of humility
Yeah.
and acknowledges that ultimate knowledge rests with the divine.
Mm-hmm.
These differing views remind us that there are aspects of the divine realm that are beyond our full comprehension, and it fosters this sense of awe and respect for the unknown.
Absolutely. So ultimately, our sources conclude that the precise details of his ascension and current state are unknown. They remain with Allah. And in a way, that just adds to the profound mystery and significance of his story.
It leaves room for contemplation,
Yeah.
reinforces the idea that some aspects of the divine plan are beyond human understanding,
Hmm.
and it invites us to reflect on the power and wisdom of the Creator.
Wow, that's beautifully put. Okay, so as we conclude this deep dive, I think Hazrat Idris, AS, emerges as this extraordinary figure, a prophet of truth, a pioneer of knowledge and innovation, an individual whose ascension signifies, immense divine favor. And he serves as this powerful reminder of the enduring importance of seeking knowledge, remaining steadfast in our faith, and contributing positively to the world around us.
His life provides this rich tapestry of spiritual and practical lessons that continue to resonate across time and cultures. It's inspiring,
It
really,
is.
inspiring us to strive for both intellectual and spiritual growth.
I love that. And on that note, here's something to consider as you go about your day. Think about those individuals throughout history who have not only pursued that spiritual understanding, but have also, significantly advanced knowledge and practical skills within their societies. Reflect on how their legacies endure, often influencing cultures and belief systems far beyond their own time, and perhaps ponder the intricate connection between intellectual and spiritual elevation. How might those two aspects mutually reinforce and enrich a truly meaningful human life? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
It has.